Repeat after me. Confidence is key.
Confidence is key.
Throw that key away. Repeat after me. God gave you a gift.
God gave you a gift.
I hope he gave you the receipt. Repeat after me. It's for my YouTube channel.
How many subscribers do you have?
7.
That's impressive.
I know, I do singing videos. My channel is called Unicorn Ice Cream.
Words can't describe how well you sing,
Thanks.
but numbers can.
What?
It sounds so good. On mute.
Shut up.
I'm running.
Okay, I just looked up Unicorn Ice Cream, see if that was the real channel. I really wanted to see that. I really wanted to see that video that they had, but what's kill me? How do I get out of here? Okay, there's another one right here. Oh. I guess. Oh, they got some big YouTube. They got Bellaport. They got Bellaport. Why do they have Share My Story? Okay, let's react to a video of Share My Story. We're gonna be reacting to I built a girls only school for myself. So we're gonna be reacting to it. I will be pausing just to say some words, so yeah.
From mom and pop retailers to husband and wife brewers, the Denver Post to the Daily Sentinel, Coloradans are for Prop 124 and keeping free enterprise. Well, free.
I'd like to expand. I'm just asking to be equal.
Stupid ads.
My dad is a successful businessman who constantly got in trouble for mistreating his employees. One time, his secretary, who was pregnant, asked him if she could go home early because she wasn't feeling well. My dad responded,
"No, you have to finish your work first."
But sir, I think I'm going into labor.
Your water didn't break yet, so go back to work or else you are fired.
Well, a few hours later, the poor woman ended up giving birth inside my dad's office.
Okay, sorry, I had to do that. So it looks like pretty decent start for my story. What's that? Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am. Why is it white? Why is it white and black, ma'am? Ma'am, did you give birth to a new species? Also, the jawline with this dude. What is wrong with this man's hair? Why do you have 1, 3, 4 fingers? Alright, there's something completely wrong with this man. Alright, let's see if this girl has 4 fingers. Alright, there's something completely wrong with this part. Okay, let's keep watching. Why wouldn't I? I didn't know why it does.
And instead of being helpful, my dad kept yelling at her to not make such a mess, or else the carpet would be ruined. Yes, my dad was lacking in empathy, and when the local newspaper heard about the incident, they wrote a front-page newspaper article about it, publicly humiliating him and tarnishing his reputation. My dad could have simply apologized to his secretary that gave birth, but instead, he wanted to sue her for defamation because she had called him the most ruthless boss in the history of mankind inside that news article. Fortunately, my dad's lawyers convinced him that suing a mother who had just given birth would only further damage his public image. Instead, they advised him to donate money to some charity. My dad reluctantly agreed and chose to open a high school for underprivileged kids. That's where I come into play. I somehow persuaded my dad to let me take over the planning and administration of his new school. He was happy to see me be so passionate about the project. He probably thought it would prepare me to take over his business one day. Well, big mistake, because my first decision was to turn it into an all-girls school. And I didn't care one bit if the girls came from underprivileged backgrounds or not. I just wanted them to be pretty and to get as many school applications as possible. I let the school...
Okay, so this is the first time Share My Story has actually told a true story. All the other stories that I have reviewed and have not put on my YouTube channel have been all lies and have not been what the title tells you to. Like there would be my mom gave birth to a dog, and then it's just a mom that gave birth with a kid that acts like a dog. That's basically what it is. But for once, they actually tell us true story. So that's fire.
will make all kinds of ridiculous promises, like one teacher for every 5 students, and the offering of lots of sports activities like ballet classes and horse riding. LOL! I was way too lazy to hire a ballet teacher, and I certainly didn't buy any horses. But my marketing worked, and the school got over 2,000 applications. I went through all of them and checked every girl's Facebook account to see if they were pretty or not. Of course, I only chose the best-looking ones. To give you an idea how picky I was, I only accepted 1 in 10 girls. Anyway, the year was about to start, and I realized that I had forgotten to hire teachers. I ended up finding some at the last minute, but they were really bad. They all had been kicked out of their previous schools for either always being on sick leave, straight up stealing, or in one case, bullying one of her own students. But hiring bad teachers turned out to be a brilliant move on my part, because none of them cared whether I was running the school well or not. They all just wanted to collect their paychecks. In fact, 2 of the 10 teachers I hired only showed up for a single week. Afterward, they called in sick for the rest of the year. Meanwhile, I was 16 and put myself into 11th grade. The girls were surprised to have a boy in their class, but I told them I was only there for a few months to make sure my dad's school ran smoothly. Now, let me tell you something. Boys aren't the only ones whose hormones go crazy during puberty. Lots of girls were interested in me. No, let me correct myself. All girls were interested in me. I was the only guy around and got asked out on so many dates that I had to reject most girls. I simply didn't have the time to date them all. And a girl getting rejected by a guy only increases her desire for that man. That's why girls started promising me that I could do anything I wanted if I only went on a date with them. And while you probably think I was living the dream, I don't think that such an abundance of women was healthy for me. I had always looked up to my dad. Maybe he was a jerk, but he was also extremely hardworking and a high achiever. I wanted to be like him one day, and not just end up as another spoiled rich kid. But ask yourself the following question. Would Bill Gates have had the discipline to build Microsoft if growing up he'd been surrounded by hundreds of pretty girls who all wanted him? Not a chance! And so, instead of focusing on my studies, I was fully busy with girls. I often skipped classes and took my classmates Kendall and Rose into empty classrooms to hang out and make out. I had a key to every classroom, after all. I pulled out a water bottle and said, "Let's play spin the bottle." Can you believe that in 10 spins, it didn't point at me once? It was infuriating, but at least Kendall came home with me after school, so I won't complain. What shocked me the most about staying at an all-girls school was how mean the popular girls were. Our teachers paid no attention to bullying, and in my art class, some girls always drew their sketches on the backs of other girls. They had to hold still for at least an hour, and it was extremely degrading. I once asked one of the girls that got bullied why she let the popular girls treat her like that, and she replied, "Because if I stand up for myself, they'll take me to the bathroom, take away my clothes, and make me walk home naked. I saw them do that to another girl." I felt sorry for her and invited her to my home. But once it got late, I told her, "I want to sleep now. Please go home."
Oh, but will we see each other again tomorrow?
No.
What do you mean? This man is stupid as heck.
So, you don't want to be my boyfriend?
I shook my head and she started crying.
Oh my god, you took my V card and you don't even want to date me? You stole it from me!
At that point, I'd probably been intimate with a third of all girls at my school. Anyway, our school had no principal, which meant there was no supervision whatsoever, and I could change anyone's grades on the report card. I only did that for myself and 8 other girls who were my closest friends. But when I showed my fake report card full of A's and B's to my dad and he told me how proud he was, I felt a bit ashamed. Instead of studying hard for school, I was cutting corners and abusing my power to
Hey.
get laid with girls. I knew if
Hey.
I continued like
I
this,
don't know
I'd
why
end up
he's
like
doing that.
Paris Hilton. Another
Hey, listen here. Listen. At least one of the teachers were actually teaching right back there in the background. Let's do that. Okay, I don't know why I'm doing that, but okay.
some rich kid who does nothing other than spending her daddy's money. So, the following semester, I wanted to reinvent myself and decided to befriend Laura, who was the best student at our school. She was so diligent that she even read textbooks during recess. Hey, Laura, I said, want to study together with me for the next math exam? No, thank you. But teamwork is fun, isn't it? Teamwork? Why don't you first tell me how to locate the local maxima of a function? Of course, I didn't know the answer to her question, so she continued. Us two working together wouldn't be teamwork. It would be me tutoring you for free. No, thank you. Well, okay, then let me pay you to be my tutor. $50 an hour. Is that enough? Apparently, $50 was a lot to Lara. She agreed, and we met at my house. I was so used to girls being into me that I immediately made advances towards her. What the hell? Get your hands off me! Oh, I'm sorry. It won't happen again. The study session went well, but during a break, Laura complained to me that her math teacher expected way too much, and that it was impossible to get an A in her class. I replied, well, do you know my dad owns the school? I have enough power to change your grades any way you want. Really? Yeah. Last semester, I polished the report cards of a couple of my friends. Kendall, for example, got an F in her English exam, but thanks to me, ended up getting an A on her report card. I was telling her all that to impress her. However, she got really mad and said, I'm working my ass off day and night to study, and you give away A's to a bunch of undeserving brats you've slept with? I didn't know what to respond, and Lara stormed.
Guys, what was the word she said? Because I'm born into a family that does not say those bad words. So, if I have my comments on, can you please tell me what that word was? I've never seen it or heard about it.
Out. I had a bad feeling, but I had no idea just how bad things were about to get. Laura contacted both the local authorities and several newspapers to tell them how I was the only boy at my dad's all-girls school, how I had slept with dozens of girls, and how I had abused my power to give some of my favorite girls good grades in return for you-know-what. It turned into a huge scandal, and everyone blamed my dad for what I had done.
I do not
He
know
got
what,
so
because
much
I'm only
negative
9.
press that the board of directors of his own company
only 10.
decided to fire him as the CEO. At first, my dad hated me for all the trouble I'd caused him. But now, without the job and without the stress that comes with being a CEO, he became a much more relaxed person and forgave me. He even said, I'm glad I no longer work 12 hours a day. I have all the money in the world, so why shouldn't I enjoy myself a little? Right now, my dad does nothing but play golf all day and have fun. And why not if it makes him happy? If you enjoyed watching our animated story, please subscribe to our channel and leave a like.
Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.